Now you're muted.
Yeah, I don't know why. We're live though. And welcome. You are locked into the GT Counter podcast. My name is Tyler. Joining me directly to the left here, or to the right, whichever way you view it, my guy Grayson Winters, co-host of this very podcast. G, what's going on, dude?
Hey, what's going on, Ed? It's exciting, man. We're about to have football nonstop for a lot of months to come. Got a bunch of college coming on. NFL's kicking off this week, which means we got Triple G this week. Um, it's gonna be a good time, man. I'm excited to talk it up for a bit here.
Absolutely. Can't wait for this weekend. I think you're a little bit more excited about the NFL than I am, but you know what? That's kind of always been your thing anyway. So either way, it should be a lot of fun this weekend. We've got a decent enough college slate, pretty top heavy, especially with I think there's two ranked unranked matchups, and then a lot of mid tier games, which should be a lot of fun though. Of course, this weekend is my favorite weekend of the year. It is El Asico weekend, which means Iowa and Iowa State are matching up. Can't wait to watch that one. And of course, Texas at Michigan is the marquee game of the weekend. So let's not waste any more time here. Grayson, I was shut out in our picks last week. I got 0 points, which is obviously very bad. I lost actual money during the week too. I went 4-6 on my picks, so not great. But you know what? I'm back for revenge this weekend. So if you want, I will. I'll take ball here. I got the ball, and I got 3 here this week. My favorite, I've got Kentucky minus the 10. They are going to be playing at home against South Carolina this week. I love the matchup for them. This thing opened at 8, steamed up to I think 10 now. Some 10 and a half starting to pop too. So give me Kentucky. I think they're a far better team. South Carolina almost lost to Old Dominion last week. I'm not sold on Sellers at quarterback. So give me what I think is the better coach and the better team. I'll lay the 10 at home. My favorite underdog play this week. I've got Syracuse +3. I'm not sure what to think of Georgia Tech now that Florida State's 0-2. I think that win in Dublin looks a little bit worse than it did, a week and a half ago. And I think the Syracuse team is a bit underrated. Reed's been on this block. He's on Syracuse this year. McCord showed something last week, threw for 350. I think the offensive system fits him better here. And I think them getting 3 points at home is too many. I expect them to win this game outright, which would technically be a ranked upset. But, they're 2.5 or 3 point dogs. So give me Houston, the underdog spot. And then my wild card play this week, I've got Army on the money line against FAU. That is +158. This game is in Boca, so Army's got to go on the road. But FAU, I'm not sold on. They should have lost to Michigan State by 20 plus, but Aiden Childs kind of vomited all over himself. And then Cam Fancher got like 4 targeting or late hit penalties because he slid like at the very last second. The most annoying play in football besides the underthrown PI ball. So that was frustrating, but I'm not afraid to fade this team. I don't think they're very good. Service academies are great underdogs. They're something like 60% against the spread as dogs. Give me the troops. I'll take them on the money line. I won't even care about the 4. So give me the troops there, and those will be my 3 plays for the week.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I can get behind it. The Georgia Tech Syracuse one. I'm not super certain of, but you guys can lay the cues if you guys like that. Um, Jaren's all the way locked in on it. Apparently, he's locked right in.
Locked and
Um,
loaded there.
Locked and loaded, man. Moving into my picks for the week. My favorite pick right here. I'm taking Notre Dame to cover the spread at 28 over Northern Illinois. Notre Dame scored 24 points last week against They scored 24 points last week against Texas A&M, against a defense that was, relatively good, I would think. I don't think Northern Illinois is going to put up a point against this Irish defense. I think it's going to be an absolute bloodbath on the field in South Bend. So give me the Irish in that game to cover. In my underdog one, I got Marshall to plus 20.5 against Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech looked like absolute hot dog water. And if I know anything about Marshall and the Green, I know that they can come out and they can upset teams at home. Yeah, let Marshall cook a little bit and let them come out and give VT everything they can handle. And I'm not sold on I love Virginia Tech at the beginning of the year, but after that Vandy game, I'm as far away from being sold about this team as possible. So, yeah, give me Marshall to pull not an upset, but to keep it close. In my wild card, give me Nebraska money line over Colorado. Anytime I can fade the Buffs, I'm fading the Buffs. I hopefully this Colorado team can throw up a big huge goose egg and let Nebraska take this win home.
Yeah, I like that
So
one.
that's or you want to read off reads?
Yeah, I'll read them off. I do like Nebraska. I would lay the 7.5. So getting money line, I'm not too mad at that as well. As far as what Reed has, let me get over to his picks real quick. His favorite, he's going to take Kansas minus 5.5 against Illinois. That game is in Illinois, so it'll be a road spot there. Underdog, one that I was heavily considering, Iowa State plus the 3 in El Asico, favorite game of the weekend. And then wild card, he's got Duke Northwestern under. He got it at 42.5. I believe that number's down in the high 30s right now, but we allowed him to get that one in. So those will be his 3 plays. You're at 3 points. He's at 3 points. I'm at 0. I need to make up some ground, but we're still early in this thing. So, we've got time here. And then moving forward into the weekly picks, we've got the 10 games from ESPN's little pick 'em here, the marquee games, if you will. Some fun ones here. We'll start with the matchup of the weekend. We got Texas heading to Michigan. This is going to be Saturday at 11 a.m. Texas 7.5 point favorite. Totals at 42.5. I'll be honest with you. I think this number is a little too high. I agree. Hook 'em. I hope they win, but it's going to be an interesting game here because Michigan wants to run the ball. They want to get downhill, and they're going to try to test Texas's interior D line, which has been overhauled after losing Sweat and Murphy to the draft. Where Texas has a big advantage here is where they have just flat out more speed than what Michigan does. Their receivers outside with Golden, with Bolden, Bond. You got the sophomore Cook, DeAndre Moore as well. They've got some weapons outside that I don't know if Michigan's secondary can handle. Especially Will Johnson, granted, best player in that secondary, probably the best player on their team. He's going to be able to hold up, but there's only one of him. So I'll be interested to see what kind of matchup Sark can try to cook up. I think it's going to be a close game. 7.5 feels like too much. I think it's probably a touchdown game, maybe a backdoor for something along those lines. But I'll take Texas to win. I think Michigan, if I had to pick, I'll take Michigan to cover. But I think that this is going to be a very entertaining game that will show a lot about both of these teams.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there, Ed. I actually think that Texas will cover this 7.5. And in some of the books, this number dropped down to 6.5, which I really like the 6.5. But I think Texas definitely covers in this game. I think Michigan's offense is in a lot of trouble with this quarterback situation that they got rolling. And this offensive line has looked really, really weak in their week 1 matchup. I think Texas is going to have everything they can handle against this Michigan defensive line, but I think Sark's going to win in the air in this game, and Michigan's going to be left with little spoken on offense. I think that Texas could sneak away with a 14-point victory in this one.
Yeah, I hope so, but I've seen this movie before. This Michigan team, they're going to be physical. Mason Graham up front on that defensive line, so should be a fun matchup. Your boy Jake Major is going to have his hands full with some of those beefy guys inside on Michigan's D line, but it'll be a good matchup for sure. Let's keep this thing pushing here. What do
Yeah,
you
I
have
completely
on
agree.
Arkansas? What do you have on Arkansas, Oklahoma State here? Your Cowboys, your local team up there. What do you think about this one?
I think this might be the most interesting game of the weekend. I think that Arkansas has one of the best running defenses in the country, and I think Oklahoma State has the best running back, potential Heisman candidate winner in Ollie Gordon. Um, and they have obviously one of the best rushing attacks in the country. This game is going to come down to the trenches 100%. Me and you saw Arkansas play last year. They got physical dudes all over that defensive line. This is going to be a game where it's not going to be Arkansas's walkthrough at Pine Bluff last week. This is going to be nitpicky, 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of game. It's going to be as physical as it gets. I'm excited for this one. I don't really have a side on this, but if I did, I would say that the Pokes win, but I don't think they cover.
I think that's probably fair. I don't really have a ton to say about the side either. I do like the over here. These are two teams that last year struggled on defense a lot. Two teams that I don't think did enough to address their defense. Granted, Arkansas is zero burger Pine Bluff, but that's not saying much. And Oklahoma State did have a good performance against South Dakota State, but obviously this is going to be a large step up in class for both of them. So I would take the over here. I got it 62.5. I think this game gets played into the 30s, and I have no problem getting there. I'll take Oklahoma State to win just at home, but like you, I can absolutely see a world where Taylor Green goes off here and keeps them within that number.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I completely agree.
On to the next here, we've got Georgia Tech at Syracuse, which we kind of touched on earlier with me picking Cuse here. This game is at 3 total, kind of right there in the low 60s as well. Syracuse in our Pick'em League, only 15% of the entire pickers are picking Syracuse to win this game. So a lot of love for the Yellow Jackets coming off that big win against Florida State. I'm going to go against the grain here. I'll take Syracuse. It's known I'm not the biggest Cal McCord guy in the world, but I don't think they should be home underdogs here. I think Georgia Tech's getting a little too much respect. I think Syracuse protects the dome and gets the job done.
I'm intrigued on this game. Syracuse is letting up 6.5 yards per attempt in their first game of the season. And that seems to be the only thing Georgia Tech wants to do is run the hell out of the ball, give the ball to both these big backs and let Haynes King carry the rock. I think Syracuse's best bet in this game is to shut down the run and make Haynes King do uncomfortable things. And Haynes King will come out there and he'll throw 3 picks in a single game. He'll fumble the ball 3 times and single-handedly lose a team a game. It's just it's the Longview, Texas kind of mentality out there for the young men. Throw the ball to whoever and let your defense play. And Georgia Tech doesn't seem to have a defense that's going to play like his high school did in Longview. So point being made, I think that the Qs have a really good chance of winning this game. I'm taking Georgia Tech in our pick'em, but I do not dislike the Syracuse per se upset in this one.
Yeah, I like the point you made there about Haynes King. Just because he hasn't put the ball in harm's way yet doesn't mean he's not going to. In fact, it's probably just delaying that when it does happen, it's going to happen a lot. That's just kind of his tendency at quarterback. Whenever he gets turnover happy, they come in bunches. So hasn't happened yet, but just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't.
Yeah, I completely agree. He's single-handedly can lose this team the game in every single game he plays in. Because it's like the snowball effect for him. Once it gets started and it start rolling down that hill, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's nothing he can do about it. 1 turnover turns into 2, turns into 3, turns into 5. It's a bad deal for him.
Yep, I agree. On to the next here. We've got Pitt at Cincy. 55% of everybody is picking Cincinnati in this one. I happen to agree. This game is started off at about a pick 'em. It's up to almost a field goal now. I think Cincinnati gets the job done at home. I am very low on this Pitt team. So give me Cincinnati to get the job done at home. They also got their stud D tackle back, recovered from getting blood clots this offseason. He's now fully recovered, back, going to be playing this week. Big emotional boost. Probably should have included it in my actual plays, but I'll pick him here. I think Cincy gets the job done.
Yeah, I'm riding the same exact boat as you here. I think both of these teams are kind of regretfully bad, but to me, this game it just comes down to the fact that Pitt in 9 of their games last year let opposing teams score more than 50% of the time in the red zone, and Cincy is one of the worst teams in the red zone in the country. I think Pitt's defense in the red zone is too bad, and Cincy is just going to slip on by because Pitt can't do anything about it. Pitt's just, when you're a bottom of the tier team in the worst Power Four conference, you just get put at the bottom of the leaderboard in every single thing. Subject then to an FCS schedule next year. We need to get them out.
It's time to move Pitt to the MAC. Them and Minnesota both to the MAC. Relegated. Gone. See ya. Next one we've got here, my favorite game of the entire weekend. El Asico, Iowa State travels to Iowa. Only 8% of everybody on ESPN is picking Iowa State. This one's tough because Iowa State, I think, is the better team. They have the better quarterback. They have the better head coach, although I think that there is a little bit of a mismatch. Iowa State has a first-year offensive coordinator. Iowa's defensive coordinator, Phil Parker, has been there for ages. He's one of the best in the business. I do trust Rocco Beck. Sama got a little bit dinged up last week, but I think they held him out just for precautionary reasons. I trust Noel and Higgins on the outside. I'm not sure if they can run the ball on this Iowa team, which they might not need to, but trusting a true sophomore, granted, he played 12 games last year. He's not your typical true sophomore, but I mean, this is going to be a tall task in Iowa. It would be helpful if they can run the ball. Defensively, they are very banged up at linebacker. They lost Caleb Bacon, who's their stud inside linebacker. They lost him last week. Doesn't look like he's going to play this week. Could be relying on a true freshman at Mike linebacker this week, which is never a good sign. But if there's one team you can maybe get away with it against, it's Iowa because they stink offensively. Granted, McNamara, much, much better than that bum Deacon Hill they were running out last year. But this is a team who hung 40 last week. Granted, it was Illinois State, and it was 6-0 at halftime. So not sure how much we can buy into what either team did last week. I'm going to go with what I think is the better quarterback and the better head coach. Kirk Ferentz is back on the sideline this week after serving his one-game recruiting violation. So underbackers rejoice. I'll take Iowa State to get the job done outright. They're +3, totals 34.5. This thing is absolutely gross. Everything you want El Asico to be. So give me Iowa State. I think they win 17-10.
I got the book. I booked one at 36 earlier today. And I took the under on that 100% because I don't think either one of these offenses is good in any way, shape, or form. I think that Iowa's complete fraud and them scoring 40 points last night is a testament to how bad Illinois State's defense is. Cade McNamara is not that guy. I don't like either side in this game. I wouldn't pick. And I know you love Iowa State. I love the under here. I think that this game is classic El Asico, and we're going to see a 10-7 victory from somebody. It's going to be everything you want and more. We might see a safety maybe. You might get a 9-10 kind of game, and it was a touchdown and a safety from somebody.
This game needs to be 3-2 after the first quarter. That's all I'm asking for. 3-2 after the first quarter. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be gross. And to your point, I was listening to your guys at Cover 3 podcast today. The under in this game has gone under 17 out of the last 19 meetings. The under is 17-2 in the last 19 years. So It's a pretty good system play, just blindly betting the under in this game. It's like
Yeah.
Service Academy levels.
Except for the Service Academy sold me in week one. Both of them hit the over. What is going on?
Hey, they're just trying to juice their numbers. This is the time to do it when they get to play Bucknell.
Yeah, give me them against Bucknell. Let's go.
Let's
Oh
go to the
geez.
next one here. We've got Kansas at Illinois. This is a game that Reed's on. He's got Kansas in his plays. I do happen to like Kansas here as well. Jalen Daniels appears to be healthy. He is still a stud. And they did cover for you last week and got you a point against Lindenwood. So a big rivalry game. I think Kansas gets the job done here in a game that's probably within a touchdown. I'll take Kansas to win on the road.
I'm a little bit questionable in this game. I know you said that Jaden Daniels is healthy. I think there's still a lot of concerns about his back. He only threw the ball 15 times last week, didn't have a single rushing attempt, which is what he's known for. I don't know if he's at full strength with this back injury, and I think that this Illinois defense is no slouch. I'm not saying that Illinois is going to win, but I'm not saying Kansas is winning this game either. I think this is as good of a coin flip as you can get in a ball game. This should be a 1.5 point spread to either side. I mean, I'm concerned for Kansas in this game.
Okay, so you're gonna take Illinois plus the, I don't know, 5.5 or 6.
No, no. If I was gonna, I would just no. I would just
Come
take
on,
the
which way
money
are you
line.
picking in your pick'em then? Who are
I'm
you gonna
taking.
select in the pick'em?
I took Illinois money line. Yeah,
Wow.
yep. And that's why I'm in first place in our pick'em right now, ladies and gentlemen. Take some notes here.
Shove it. All right. Next one up. We've got Tennessee and NC State. This one is a neutral site game. This one is in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium where the Panthers play. Hopefully, the Panther voodoo does not rub off on either of these two teams. I know that both of us have some sort of liking to both of these teams. Tennessee's favored by 7.5 or 8, depending on the book. And total's pretty high. It's up there in the upper 50s, low 60s at this point. I'm going to go on a limb here. I think this number's too high. I'm going to take Tennessee to win, but I think NC State covers. I think they keep it within the touchdown. I think this is a little bit of an overreaction to Tennessee hanging a very nice 69 points on, I believe they played, who did they play? Oh, Chattanooga. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. Nico cooked. He was awesome. I just think this is a few too many points. So I'll take Tennessee to win in the pick'em. I will take NC State to cover in real life. Thank you, Mr. Winters. I greatly appreciate that. That means the world to me. I'm glad I'm on your side here.
I I like Tennessee in this game a lot. I think I agree with you. I don't think they will cover this. We're still riding NC State until they disappoint us like Virginia Tech, but they about disappointed us to Western Carolina last week. So either Western Carolina is a hot team and we need to jump on their win total right now, or NC State's complete fraud. So we will shortly find this out when James Pierce, the defensive end for Tennessee, has his way against this offensive line this week. That's the only thing. That is the only player on the field that can change this game. Does James Pierce come out with 1 sack or 5? And that's simple as it comes.
So I also think that NC State kind of didn't show very much against Western Carolina. I mean, they just basically threw it to Concepcion the whole game and said, "Hey, go make a play," which he did. So in fairness, good on them. But I think they held a little bit back. So I expect to see them empty the chamber here a little bit.
I hope so, because they're gonna need to bring everything they got. Because I don't think Tennessee's like the world's most amazing team, but I definitely don't think they're a slouch on either side of the ball.
Yeah, that's fair. They're definitely a good team and would not be at all surprised to see them pick up a win here, but just too many points for me. On to the next, we've got Colorado at Nebraska. This game is 7.5 as well. Totals up there in the high 50s. I think Nebraska wins and covers. Would expect this to be a 2-touchdown game. So give me the Huskers. I think Rayola is absolutely that guy. So I'll take him to get the job done here and cover.
Gosh, he looked fantastic last week. I love Nebraska to win and cover. I took them money line in this game in our pick'ems because I'm a point thief and it's free points for me, so I'm gonna take them where I can get them. But yeah, I totally think this Colorado team's fraud. I've thought this since last season. We saw them play like absolute dog crap to North Dakota State last week. Travis Hunter can only save this team so many times. Um, and he's not going to be able to play 157 snaps against Nebraska. It's not going to happen. Um, so point being made, Nebraska's going to come out and wipe the floor with this Colorado team.
I agree. Two left here, two games that will be kicking off late on Saturday night. We've got Texas Tech at Washington State. Washington State, this opened as a pick. Washington State is now favored by 2. Total is very high. It's up there in the mid 60s. I'm on the over here, but I think Washington State gets the job done. It does scare me because, like I've said many times, Texas State, or not Texas State, Texas Tech is going to be a great underdog because of their fourth down variance. They'll go for it everywhere. And if they go 5 of 6, they'll win. If they go 1 of 6, they'll lose. I just don't think their defense has the horses here. They gave up 51 to ACU and should have lost. I don't think they can get any stops in this game. Favorite play is the over, but I'll take Washington State to get the job done.
Yeah, I really like the over in this game as well. Texas Tech laid 90 plus last week with ACU in the ACU in the conversation. Imagine how many points Washington State's going to score on this Texas Tech defense. And I don't think this Texas Tech offense has any stop in them. They're going to be scoring at will. This is going to be a game of all offense and absolutely no defense. I'm talking 550 yards plus on each side. It's going to be when Patrick Mahomes got to play against Baker Mayfield in the Tech OU game way back when. It's going to be absolutely electric. I'm excited. This is as close as you can get to Pac-12 After Dark without it being Pac-12 anymore, and we love it.
I present to you the challenger for that banner. We've got Mississippi State at Arizona State. There's no way this game is normal. Arizona State's favored by 6.5. I'm taking Mississippi State to pull an upset here. I think that this Arizona State team is a little bit overvalued after smoking Wyoming. My opinion on Wyoming has definitely changed a little bit. I think Mississippi State goes to the desert and pulls off an upset in a very high-scoring game. So give me the Bulldogs in a weird game.
Did I send you my notes over before we did this? Because you're like reading straight off my notes right now.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Unbelievable. Yeah, this game's easy for me. I think Mississippi State's going to come out and handle some business in the desert. Scatabo can't do everything for you guys. He can only do that when you play stinky Wyoming, which is really a shame because I picked Wyoming to win last week and then they got absolutely devastated. So that's really nice for everybody. But yeah, Mississippi State, I love them in this game.
Then there's two others that aren't in the pick'em that I think will be interesting games. We've got Oregon hosting Boise. Boise, fresh off of having Ashton Jeanty run for 270 and 6 scores on Georgia Southern. Oregon last seen only winning by 10 against Idaho. This number has crept up all the way back up to 20. Before last week, this game was over 3 touchdowns. Dipped down to like 18 and a half, 18 at one point. Now it's been bet all the way back up to 20. I think Oregon lays a hammer here. I don't think Boise is going to be able to generate as much offense. Oregon typically plays well against teams who run the ball first. That is definitely Boise in this case. Number's a little too high for me. I would have liked it a lot better at that 18, but if I had to pick, I would take Oregon to get the cover at home. I think they win by 3 touchdowns here.
Yeah, I really like that here too as well, Ed. I think that Oregon, I don't think that by any means Oregon laid a goose egg last week. I think Oregon looked really good on paper last week and won a game that they 100% dominated by very little points. I think that Oregon's going to come out and show that they can score on offense, and they're going to come out and absolutely blow the socks off of a pretty decent Boise State team. So I love it, and I hope Oregon does come out and show something because we need some competition in that Big Ten.
Yeah, well, USC might be able to provide that at this point, but I will say if this game is closer than anticipated, I'll be pretty concerned about Oregon if this is a one-score game in the fourth quarter. This is a Boise team they should match up really well with. So if it is a close game, I'll start raising the alarm bells because that'd be concerning.
Yes, I completely agree. I completely agree with you.
Then one more here. We've got Kentucky. They are playing host to South Carolina. Kentucky is -10 on the spread. This number started out at 8. It's been bet up to 10. This was my favorite of the week. I think Kentucky is far better than South Carolina. I'm not a big sellers guy for South Carolina. They almost lost to Old Dominion. This is not a very good team. Give me Kentucky. I think they win by probably 3 scores here. Probably, if I had to guess, it's probably 31-10, somewhere along those lines.
If you want to watch an utter domination in a game, you watch Kentucky's offensive line play this D line, and you watch Kentucky's D line play South Carolina's offensive line. South Carolina has some of the worst trench units in the country. I mean, it is morbidly bad. And if you've watched any of the NFL this season, you could see how bad that offensive line is because Spencer Rattler has looked like a certified stud in preseason for the Saints, and he looked like a certified dud at South Carolina. So, yeah, give me Kentucky all the way to cover this.
Love it. And before we get to Triple G for the first time this year, I do have a couple more that I've got my eye on. UTSA, Texas State over. This thing is up to 64. If I can get 63, I'll take the over there. These are two teams who are prone to give up points. We'll just say that lightly. So I think this game soars way into the 30s. Give me an over there. Arkansas State -7.5 against Tulsa. Arkansas State last seen nearly losing to Central Arkansas. They dominated that game. They were up over 2 scores in the fourth quarter before a couple of untimely turnovers. So I think Arkansas State gets the job done here at home. I think they cover the 7.5. And then lastly, San Jose State. They are getting 6 points on the road against Air Force. You may know that San Jose State's coach is now Ken Niumatalolo, who used to be at Navy. Air Force runs the triple option, which would normally be a bad matchup. But if there's anybody who knows how to scheme for a triple option, it's Coach Ken. So sneaky upset here. I think San Jose State goes on the road, gets the job done over the air troops there. So I'll take the 6, and I might also sprinkle a little money line too.
I love it. I love it. I do have one right here, Ed, for you. One of my favorite plays of the week. Bowling Green's playing Penn State. Really early, 11 a.m. game, kind of a sleepy spot for them. I think that the under is beautiful in this game at 48.5 points. I think that Penn State's going to come out sleepy. I don't think Bowling Green is going to score a single point on this defense, and I don't see any way that Penn State's going to score 7 touchdowns on Bowling Green with this offense. I think that this 48.5 spot is absolutely lovely to take in this game. So I love that under.
Don't hate it. I would also take Penn State to cover because if there's one thing James Franklin loves doing, it's covering spreads against bad teams. So I would take them to cover, but I do like the under there too.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
And with that, that means it is time for this year's first Triple G. What you got?
It's a little bit different than what I usually do on Triple G. The NFL is obviously starting week 1 tomorrow, and it's impossible to know what teams are going to look good off the rip. So based on that being hard, I'm not going to tell you who I think is going to win in these matchups because genuinely, I have absolutely no idea who's going to win in half of these games. As I've seen so much controversy on whether the Ravens are going to be good this year or if the Eagles are going to be good this year or who's going to be good this year. You just don't know. You watch preseason games and half the starters don't play anymore. Bring back the Peyton Manning era. We want the quarterbacks to play. Either that or just get rid of preseason in general because we're tired of watching it anyways. Go back to the mini camps where they fight all the time. I love those. Let's play mini camp scrimmages. They're way better. Okay. I'm trying to see more DeAndre Hopkins telling people I only fear God, homie. That's it. That's all I want.
We've had some epic training camp rants at some of these stages.
Yes, they're it's great. So anyways, point being made, my dad kind of got me encouraged to do this one. He's been big on the DraftKings these past 2 years. So I'm gonna rock some player props that are gonna get him really excited. Um, First player prop I'm thinking about rocking, and what I would rock if I was you guys, is Ravens and Chiefs Thursday night. Give me Derrick Henry plus the over on half a touchdown. I think Derrick Henry's first game with the Ravens, he's going to get the rock and he's going to get back on track. So give me Derrick Henry with at least one touchdown. Patrick Mahomes in this game, he's at 276 and a half as his betting line for passing yards. I think this is as free as it gets. Patrick Mahomes has thrown for 350 yards in all games against the Ravens in the last 3 years. Give me this all day and tomorrow. 276 and a half yards is for free. Um, Moving into Green Bay versus the Eagles, I got one line right here. I know Jason Kelsey has left, but that's not stopping Jalen Hurts from getting his plus more than half a rushing touchdown in this game. The tush push is still alive and well. So love Jalen Hurts to get half a rushing touchdown. Next thing I'm going into is Texans versus the Colts. Don't know how much Ed's going to like this one, but I love it. Anthony Richardson to throw for more than 227 and a half yards in this game. This one to me is very free. AR was having a crazy season before he got hurt last year. And I think he's going to step back on the gridiron and get back to where he was. So I'm really excited about that one.
Is he going to stay healthy for the entire game?
I freaking hope so. Because I think that he could have a serious, like, potential MVP candidacy if he could stay healthy in any season. I mean, he's as good as Lamar looked when he came into the league. I mean, AR can be a stud. Hey. That's part of my bets. Come on, man. You're
Taking
killing
your
me.
thunder.
He's killing my thunder. uh let me just skip to it. In the Bears and the Titans game, uh a lot of these apps, including Prize Picks, will give you that more than half a yard for Caleb Williams on the books. So look into those weekly specials. The only way Caleb Williams doesn't throw for over half a yard is if he pulls a Aaron Rodgers, um, which would just be a brutal scene.
Okay, so did you see the trend where rookie quarterbacks, or I'm sorry, number one overall pick quarterbacks who start in week one, they are 0-14-1 straight up and 0-15 against the spread their first game as starter, which means you should absolutely take the Titans plus 4.5. But is anybody in the world going to take the Titans plus 4.5? Absolutely not.
No, absolutely not. Oh gosh, I did not hear about that. Um, yeah,
One of the wildest trends I've ever seen.
yeah, I like it. I like it. I might go slap some down on the Titans to win then this weekend. Give me all that.
Just a little sprinkle, nothing too serious, but just a little bit.
Yeah. Another one of my bets: Jacksonville versus Miami. I love Brian Thompson, man. This guy has really come out and kind of solidified that he's going to be the wide receiver one in this game for Jacksonville. His line right now for receptions is at 3.5. And this is, for me, an easy pick to take on the over right here. He's going to get at least 4 receptions from Trevor Lawrence. And if you want to get a little bit more gambly with it, right now I would say that he's going to score a touchdown. So his half a touchdown line could be an easy one to snag in this game. Moving into my final game, I got Dallas versus Cleveland. There's some alternative lines on this game for rushing yards. The original line for Rico Dowd was 29 and a half yards to get more or less. I think it's way more worth it to go for this 59 and a half yards in his game. They're saying he's going to be the RB1 over Zeke this week, and you can get 59 and a half at plus 615. I think this is an absolute steal. Big Mike loves to run the ball, and this offensive line is really, really good at this point in time. Um, Expect to see a lot of Cooper Beebe pulling around like Travis Frederick did back in the day, getting the ball to these running backs on sweeps with the center pull. I'm excited for some Cowboys action this weekend.
How about that? They're going to start 2 rookie offensive linemen week 1. That's crazy.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me much. I mean, your other bet was what's his name? The guy from the center from Virginia Tech. And he was
Unfamiliar with
he was
his
an
work.
undrafted free agent to the Cowboys who was going to be the starter this year, and I never thought he was that great. Who was it?
I said I am unfamiliar with his
Do you know
work.
who it was?
I do not know who it is. No.
Yeah, yeah, he was an undrafted free agent. I can't. His name's it's Hoffman. I'm pretty sure, but yeah, he's not ideal for the team.
What do you think about them playing a game in Brazil this week? We got the Packers and the Eagles in Brazil on
Eagles.
Friday night. Really, really weird one.
I know a lot of the players were saying they were pretty scared because apparently, like wearing green out in Brazil is like a big deal. So neither one of these teams are wearing green out in Brazil. They're going to be wearing their weird color rush jerseys that are going to be like blue and brown and all sorts of different colors. So it'll be really interesting to see what these teams look like this week.
Yeah, just a very strange one. Contract extension watch. CD Lamb has been signed. Dak has not been. Not sure if we're gonna see Dak get signed before the game. I do not know a single thing about it, but CD Lamb will be there, so that'll be fun for all the Cowboy fans out there.
How about how about one of the biggest signings of the week? Trent Williams got paid 62 and a half or yeah, was it 62 and a half million, I believe?
I think it's 82 and a half over the 3
82
years.
and a half million. That's what it is. Unfreaking believable. You're paying an offensive lineman 82 and a half million. I know he's the best in the league, best to do it right now, but golly, I can't do it, man. You got to pay all these other guys. You're not going to be able to pay Nick Bosa and Fred Warner. So they're going to be hurting.
He's old too. He's been at it for a long time.
And he missed like 6 games last year. And you're like, "Yep, 82 and a half million, here it comes." They won every game he played except for in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure though. So I mean, I guess he's worth some value.
It's not nothing, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can do that when Brock Purdy signed on to a $750,000 contract. So that helps the game.
Yeah, when his game checks are $7, it kind of is beneficial.
Yeah, he actually gets more money in jersey sales than he makes contract wise. It's kind of unbelievable.
Yep, that's the joy of being a 7th rounder. Dak was the same thing when he was a 4th. He was making pennies, and it is kind of a cheat code if you can find a really good quarterback late in the draft.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. That's why I'll forever be kicking the Raiders program for not copping us a Spencer Rattler or Joe Milton in the 6th round this past year.
Joe Milton sucks.
Yeah, well, we're gonna start Money Man, Magic Man Minshew. Okay, so what sucks more, Tyler?
Hey, cool mustache at least.
Yeah, you know what's really cool? Having a wide receiver on your team that you're paying $79 million a year and not throwing the ball to him because you don't have anybody that could throw the ball to him. Poor Devontae Adams, dude, just spoiling his campaign.
Welcome to the Minnesota Vikings experience. That is Justin Jefferson's life.
Hey, Jettis has a better quarterback this year than he did last year. Okay, that's
Whoa.
Mullins sucked. Okay, give me.
When did Kirk get hurt?
He's still Jettis still averaged 100+ yards a game after Kirk got hurt, and he was getting the ball thrown to him by Mullins. That guy sucks.
That is true.
Mullins
That is
isn't even
very
on a
true.
roster these days. Guy is hot dog water.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. Kind of wild that I did see that the Vikings are, I think, 2-point favorites at the Giants this week.
The Giants could potentially be the worst team in football. So as
No,
one
that's
would,
the Saints. That is the Saints.
I got high expectations for Spencer Rattler to do some stuff, man. They got an offense. They got a decent offense.
Is he going to play or is it going to be Carr?
I think there's been a lot of talks about him being the starter. I don't know if he's going to start or not. Let me go look at the player prop lines. Let me see who's
Yeah, see if you can find it. I would like to know because if it's either of them, I think they're going to suck. But
Derek.
are they going to be are they going to be fun sucky or are they going to be bad sucky?
Derek Carr is the starter. He's props at 230 yards, but it's okay because they're playing the Carolina Panthers. So it's the battle of who's worse. That's
Battle of mid.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm starting Kamara this week. That's a guarantee. If they're playing Carolina, Kamara's going to take my team to glory.
Well, see, here's the thing though, is that Rattler's not even going to be QB2 because that stupid dude Taysom Hill is still there, and for whatever reason, they still love him.
He's got his. If you got Taysom Hill in your fantasy team, you're lucking out because he plays wide receiver, running back, QB. They let you put him in as your tight end spot. It's unbelievable. The dude's
He's
not
an
even playing.
awful football player. He's
Oh,
just he's just so toolsy. I will die on that hill. He stinks.
he's the greatest utility player you could ever ask for. This is the difference between Taysom Hill and any other quarterback that's gotten cut from the league. Like Taysom Hill,
He likes money, so he played other positions.
Taysom Hill just, he came in and he said, I'll do whatever. This is what Tim Tebow should have done. Tim Tebow should look in the mirror and say, I should have been more like that Mormon boy, Taysom Hill. You're really sold by not playing everything. Tim Tebow was athletic enough to do everything on the field the same way that Taysom Hill's doing it. But
He just had too much self-respect.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a crying shame that we don't get to watch Tim Tebow on Sundays do what Taysom Hill does. Not that we don't get to watch him play quarterback because we don't want to watch that anyways. But
I'm good on that. I no thanks. Take them both away. They can go play in the. They can go get ready for flag football at the Olympics in 2028 for all I care. That's where Taysom Hill should go. Go play with that dude who wants to be Mahomes.
Yeah, I was about to say that, man. You got me. You got the flag football, and you got me thinking about that guy that says he doesn't think that hey, so you're about 47 minutes too late, man. Those Irish are going to be great, though. Yeah, take them plus 28 points and to cover that spread, buddy. No, I think that that's the funniest thing in the world that this flag football player thinks that Patrick Mahomes should have to earn his spot to play in the Olympics. Okay, deep breaths, buddy. All right, like, what are you doing?
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. If only we could apply that logic to like Team USA basketball too. Like, imagine trying to tell Steph Curry that he needed to go earn his way on the team.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It's unbelievable to me that some guy thinks that. I should walk out there and tell Fred Warner he's got to earn his spot at linebacker. Okay, you're earning your spot at linebacker this week, Fred. Hell no, guy would slap the hell out of me.
See, when we look at earning your spot, then we end up with the 3-on-3 team who was in a complete abomination and lost every team they played in the Olympics with Jimmer friggin' Fredette out there.
Yeah, you should have taken that 3-on-3 team and said, "All right, give me LeBron, give me KD, and give me whoever your favorite big man is." It doesn't even matter at that point in time.
I could probably go find a better 3-on-3 run at the Y down the street.
You might be able to. I see some guys that'll be in Vasa and in Oklahoma City hooping, and I'm like, these guys are kind of nice. These guys look like they should be playing pro.
Dude, DFW's got all sorts of hoopers around. Like some of the pros train at SMU. Like TCU had a big contingent back this week. Like there's some dudes who are hanging out right now. I guarantee you I could go find a better run than what they threw out there at the Olympics.
It's crazy to me that they didn't say, hey guys, let's grab some of these guys from the G League. Like, I mean, the Oklahoma City Blues just won the G League. We couldn't have pulled up Noah Starkey, the 7'10" guy, to come play, or what? I mean, come on, just lob him the ball up. It's over.
Anything to get an alum on the team, right?
Yeah, get an alum out there, man. That's what we need.
What else you got for Triple G, Doug?
That's everything I got on the week. Player props are pretty much all I'm rocking with this week. I'm too scared to. I'm big on the 12-leg parlays in the NFL, but I just don't know enough about any of these teams to throw one of those down. So we'll stay in college football this week.
Love that. And then, next week you can build on both and have some of everything in there. Just like a big old pot of jambalaya there.
Yeah, like a good old pot of American gumbo. I know what you're talking about.
Football's finest.
Love it. Love it.
Okay, so there was some news that came out today that we have to talk about. The PGA Tour is going straight up against LIV we've got Scotty Scheffler and Rory. They're going to be teaming up against Brooks Koepka and your boy Bryson. I know you're very excited about this. They're going to be playing in December in Vegas. The first question is are we going? And then the second question is who's going to win? Like, what format are we playing? Is it going to be all shot? Are we? I wish they would scramble. That would be a lot of fun. Got to play stymies, of course, though. Need them to be trying to, if you've never played stymies, you have to like putt around or over. You tripping over somebody's golf ball on the green. You don't mark it on the green. So I need some good game. Like play them in a scramble. Like let's have some fun out here. It's going to be taken entirely too serious by everybody involved. So let's loosen them up a little bit.
Yeah, we need a couple of beers out on the course. I know Bryson isn't much for partaking in that. John Daly needs to be caddying one of these teams. You need to have a little bit of a loosening up for the boys. But I think this would be a crazy fun match to go watch, and I love the two ball idea. I do love a nice little two ball. Um, I do think that this would be a really fun little match to go watch out in Vegas. Um, do I? Are you wondering if I have a side on this, on which team I think's going to win?
Of course. I mean, that's what we do around here. We gotta draw battle lines.
God,
Is Scotty gonna take this thing seriously? That's my main question.
I don't. If I think if he does, there's no way that Brooks and Bryson can beat him. I think if you give me Bryson and John Rahm, I think you might have a better chance. I don't think Brooks is complements Bryson's game well. Just
See, and here's where I'm at. Like, I think Brooks and Rory are gonna cancel each other out on the give a damn level. Like, I could see both of them just like they're good buddies anyways. Like after Brooks won the PGA a couple of years ago, they were chatting it up in the parking lot. Like I could see them just like hanging out, catching up, you know, not really caring too much. And then you got Scotty, who like is the complete wild card in this deal. And then Bryson is absolutely going to try very, very hard. Um, so I don't know. It could be interesting. I just hope that they lean into it. We need a cart girl out there, get the sphere fired up. I think they're playing at the course that overlooks the sphere. Like I need some provocative stuff out there.
I wonder if we could bet lines on this game, Ed. I mean, we need to know what kind of format they're playing before. I'm trying to bet the score. I'm trying to see one of these teams break 50. Okay. That's what we want. We want a two-man scramble, 18 holes. One of these teams is breaking 50.
So I don't know if they're playing um I don't know if they're playing 18. Let me see if I can go find it. Um let's see. It doesn't look like we have odds out for it yet, which stinks. The Omega European Masters are this week, though. If you're interested in that, Matt Fitzpatrick's the favorite to win. Um, but no odds are out for the match yet, so we'll see as we get closer to it. But I'd imagine that Team PGA Tour is going to be favored by a little bit, but I wouldn't imagine it'd be more than minus 200 probably.
Yeah, I would probably think that Scotty and Rory are going to be favored in this one as well. I think that Rory is your high-speed ball striker, hits the ball far and prays a little bit, and Scotty's just so good right now. I mean, every single part of his game is just so good. Um, I think that Rory and Bryson are going to cancel each other out, and who can play the long ball better. And I think Scotty's a better ball striker than either one of Bryson or Brooksy. So, um, yeah, I would imagine that the PGA Tour would be favored in this one, but I'm riding with Bryson no matter what. So, whatever whatever the odds are, you're putting me down on Bryson's team. That's guaranteed.
Are you going to be in town for the Live Team Championship? It's down here in Dallas. I think the September, like the weekend of September 20th.
I think I do believe it's the weekend before that. I think it's the weekend of September. I think it's September 13th, I believe. The 13th.
Oh, my one
Fortunately,
weekend
I will
off.
not be there on September 13th. Yeah, I think it's the weekend before. And unfortunately, I will not be there. I will be at a CrossFit tournament in Amarillo. which will be absolutely amazing. Me and the young man Jaron are about to school everybody in our first ever CrossFit competition.
You are a
Oh, it is
tryhard,
September.
sir.
It is September 20th. My dad was lying to me indeed.
And he will be
So
there.
yeah, he has.
So
My dad's
good to
definitely
know.
going. He's got 4 tickets to go. I actually might be. I could potentially be going to that as well because I think I'm watching his house that weekend. Oh, is it? It's September 20th.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, nuggets. No, I can't be there. Tax season. I'm thinking October. That's totally my fault. That's totally my
Ah,
fault. Yeah, I'm thinking October. Yeah,
those
can't
dang
go. I'm
accountants
in.
who just keep banging you right in the knees with stuff to do.
We're knees deep in tax season. It's a joyous occasion. I was trying to remember why I couldn't go because I talked to my dad about this a while back and got him to go buy tickets for him and my mom and his buddy or whatever. And then we were gonna go, and then we were like, oh no, I can't go on that date because of tax season, and boss would fire me, and probably not worth it. And they're going on. I think they're going on a Friday too, which is just oh yeah, that would be a rough. It'd be a rough time for me. I can't take these risks.
Did they not play a tournament in Oklahoma this year? Did was the eighth best course in Tulsa not good enough?
They played last year.
I know
They
they're
played,
not playing. They didn't play there this year.
no, haven't played a single one in Oklahoma this year. That one in Tulsa was freaking amazing, man. I love that. I
Hate
loved
that
it.
they don't go back up there. That's big live country up there.
They need to go play the live tournament at Oklahoma City Country Club. Is where they need to go play. That course is that's one of the nicest courses I've ever played on. I had the luxury of playing there 2 weeks ago, and I think they're having the junior pro am there in 2 or 3 weeks, and they're prepping the course for the pro am. Greens were rolling at 11 and a half, and they hadn't mowed the rough in 3 weeks. So the rough was it was mighty thick, taking a whole entire club off your yardage every time you swung. It was quite amazing.
See, I don't even know if they could. I need to go test myself at Lincoln West again. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Now that's proper golf right there.
I took my dad this past weekend out to Lincoln East, which I actually believe Lincoln East is the harder of the two courses. Some people will disagree. I'm not much of the I know I look like I should be a long ball swinger. I am not much of a long ball hitter. Um so I struggle a little bit when you play the 225-yard par 3 and uh 196-yard par 3 and a couple of a downhill 450-yard par 4. I struggle when you play holes like that, especially when I taught my driver on the 450-yard par 4. That's really good. Um,
It's very sick.
yeah, no, it's ideal. Yeah, we're still working on the driver. Shot a really good back nine though. Back nine's not too bad out at East. But me and my dad played two of the worst front nines we've composed in a long time.
So I played Monday down here, Labor Day, federal holiday. Banks closed. You know where you're going to find me. It's going to be on a golf course. So me and a buddy went and played out at Sugar Tree, which is about 40 minutes west of Fort Worth. Um,
I've played Sugar Tree.
Sugar Tree is a great track. Congrats on your win, Grayson. By the way, that's good for you. Glad to see you're able to take home a dub there. But yeah,
We,
Sugar Tree is a great course. It was super wet whenever we played it, and so played a really good front nine though. Shot 4 over, 41, pars 37 on the front. Made a birdie on one of the par fives. But then on the back, like my driver just left me. I was +5 on the first 4 holes. That includes a double on the 210-yard par 3 12th. Hit it actually a really good 4-iron up there, but then flubbed a chip, which is never good. And then chipped it on and 2-putt for double. So never good there. It's rebounded okay. I played the last 5 and 1 over for 83, but golly, I mean, my driver cost me 4 or 5 shots. I was all over the place. I had the big right miss in play. It was bad.
that's how I That's how I felt when we played the front nine. I ended up shooting 10 over on the front nine and 3 over on the back. Um, and I think I started off with I don't know, 3 or 4 balls out of bounds in the first 6 holes, I think. It was a really, really rough start to a round. I'm proud of you, Brandon Perez. I'm proud that the Texans are gonna be a moderately decent team for once in franchise history. You go walk over and get yourself a nice little massage from the same place Deshaun Watson did. Okay.
BP, I just hope you enjoy the. I hope you enjoy the 6 weeks where Stephon Diggs is happy, because after that it's just downhill very quick. Vibes go downhill very very quickly.
The vibes are gonna get low out in Houston. Okay, they're gonna get low and they're gonna get quickly low.
We got to protect our boy CJ Stroud, who I believe you still had the best call all of last year whenever you called CJ Stroud a fraud, and then he proceeded to lead them to the playoffs. That was so sick.
Oh gosh, he looked so bad in preseason. I couldn't believe my eyes what I was watching in preseason, and then he came out and he looked great, man. He played really really well, and I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that was good. Unexpected, but good. But yeah, you just enjoy your 10-7 BP. Don't get too high or too low, and we'll see you in the wild card round. You played I think 16 noon games last year. You're probably going to play 16 more this year, and you know you'll just go under the radar. Nobody will really care about you, and that's the life of being a Texan.
I think because they finished first in their division last year. I believe they have one of the hardest schedules in the National Football League this year. Um, I'm pretty positive actually they have one of the hardest schedules in the National Football League this year. I think it's like the third hardest. Um, so could see them not even making the playoffs this year. That's more than likely, probably.
I think they're minus odds to make the playoffs, and I think they do make it. But the AFC is the harder of the two conferences by far. Um, Another one here. Are we going to watch the SNU game on live stream tomorrow? Playing the national champion Harding, whatever their mascot is. Are they the Bisons?
Harding Bisons, the U defense U.
In short, no. I will probably not be watching, but we'll keep up with it on Twitter. Whoever runs the SNU football Twitter account better be locked and loaded on these updates.
I'm tuning in for probably the first half, depending on what the score looks like from there. I might turn it off or continue watching. I'm gonna show a little bit of support for my dog Dusty Hayda. Um, but outside of that, you can I hope and I pray that they win and they play a close game. Um, I can't imagine they will though. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, but you're playing the national champs at their crib. We've never played them close at their house ever.
That is false. Jackson Hopking made their coach cry my freshman year. That was an all timer. I was there for that one. That one was fun. Good
Oh
bus ride
yeah,
home.
oh yeah. I forgot about they you guys upset them and then they lost the first 3 games of their season in a row and then still went to the national championship and lost.
Yeah, that was what a time. Um,
I do
yeah,
remember that.
some
I do remember
some
that.
stories about that team that year. I we could do a whole pod on story time of my freshman year at SNU.
Gosh, I could do story time on the things that I've heard Lambert say just in the Harding locker room. Um, yeah, I've seen some stuff. I've seen some stuff that he says in meetings about Brandon Perez that would make people just absolutely lose their mind. Um, for a guy that preached a lot about God to us, he seemed to get real angry real fast, man. He could really let it loose.
Quick temper.
Oh yeah, quite the temper on the young man. Yeah, I know he used to tell BP that if anybody on the team had his athleticism but could remember the playbook, we'd have the best wide receiver in the country. So that's good, Brandon. I'm glad you could remember the playbook, man.
I'll take that as a yes. We'll take that as confirmation.
Yeah, we'll take your laughing faces as confirmation. Oh,
What else
geez.
have we got here? We're at the end of the agenda. I mean, I guess we got a couple of minutes to chill out here, but What do you got? Anything else for us before we get out of here and get ready for the weekend?
Not a whole lot. I know Division 2 games are kicking off this weekend. Um, as we talked about, all the GAC plays on Thursday. UCO obviously got the memo that they have, a lesser record than SNU in Division 2 wins. So they've decided that in their Division 2 era, they're going to start hiring on really bad teams during preseason. They're opening up the season at UCO against Langston. Um, so love that for them that they get to play NAIA school in their first game. I didn't know that you could play an NAIA school in NCAA division anything. So I thought that was really interesting. I'm not sure why Alabama doesn't play Langston next year, but pay them $1.5 million to come down and lose by 100. It'd be interesting.
Hey, Stephen F. Austin sure as shit played an NAIA team, and they played 5-minute running quarters in the second half of their game against North American. They were up 70-0 at halftime. That is why you don't schedule NAIA teams.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the best part about the UCO game is going to be Langston's band at halftime. I mean, it's
underrated part of getting them there. The people of Edmond will love that.
Yeah, that Langston band is a little bit different. I saw them at an XFL game 3 or 4 years ago when the Arlington Renegades were really their first year of the XFL, when the Arlington Renegades were getting hot. And Langston's band played at the stadium, and it was pretty electric, man. Their band is excellent.
Hey, the people of Edmond can use a little bit of culture like that. It'll be a good experience for them.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's going to get weird out there in Edmond on Saturday at 7 p.m., man. So
then I believe this is our 18th Notre Dame reference on this show. So congrats to you, big that win. It's just the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep, man. I love it, Will. I love it, Will. Irish moving up to number 5. It's awesome, man. We're all here for it. Um, keep the winning streak going, and we'll stay at number 5 all season long. So we're excited for it.
Good to see Big McCune out in the chat. Good to see a proof of life. It's been a minute since we've seen the kid.
Yeah, congratulations, Will, on your new job, man. I'm really proud of you, my guy.
Doing big things. We do love to see it.
Taking a step into the adulthood. The young man is cooking.
I mean, we've got several of our former dudes who are now coaching these days. Like it's wild times.
Some of the kids that I went to college with, I'm concerned that they're allowed to teach the youth of America. Genuinely, I saw the other day that Gamble Moore is teaching Texas history to somebody. That kid couldn't organize a deck of Uno cards. So yeah, I'm quite concerned that he gets to teach the youth of America. Genuinely.
Hey, and the good part about history is that it often repeats itself. So what could possibly go wrong about teaching it wrong?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, there's a couple of guys out there that I would say I'm quite surprised that they're allowed to teach the youth of America, but you know that in in Oklahoma, it's not a big deal these days because they'll let anybody get hired on as a teacher at these public schools. They'll give you they'll let you get you emergency certified without a degree. So I find that quite insane.
I mean, yeah, look at your state superintendent. He's a complete donut, but I mean, they let him get a job with the government. Stitt's character up there.
Yeah, it's a little bit unbelievable some of the stuff you see, but man, it's something. It's something.
Hey, I think Mark Henderson is down here coaching in Dallas. Wild.
I'm sure his players probably look at him and were like, God, this guy is a hoss. Look at how big his bowling ball quads are or calves. And I thought the same thing when I came to college. I was like, dude, this guy's probably a hoss. Then I saw him get underneath the bench press and saw he couldn't bench 315. And I was like, never mind, take it back, take it back.
I immediately regret everything I said. Take it all back. Take it away.
I was like, a guy this big, weighing 330 pounds, can't do a singular push up and bench his body weight. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That is the strength that we had at old SNU back in the day. What a
Yeah, and
program!
I used to look at guys and be like, that guy's big. He's got to be a big bencher. Couldn't bench. I was like, give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he could squat. Can't squat either. It's like, what is he got a frame for no reason? What's going on? What is going on?
And that, my friend, is why we went D2, right?
Yep. Bingo. Bingo. If everybody was 6'5", 365 pounds, we'd all be Division One, right?
Yeah, we'd all be that dude from Florida who's 430 pounds and wears the number 21.
Yeah, that's sick that they let him wear that. That's sickening.
Speaking of, did you see they had Florida had their recruits right next to the Miami fan section, and when they left the field, they walked right past them and said, "The U runs Florida, go here instead."
Yeah,
Bad by Napier. That dude's not going to make it until November.
he's getting fired. I was talking to my grandpa is a huge Florida Gators fan, and I was talking to him, and he was like, "Is Steve Spurrier still open for a job? Does he need an offering?" He was just naming guys off, and I was like, "Need to go take a look at Ed Orgeron. Go get Coach O over to the Gators.
Go Gators.
Go get the best recruiter in college football to come over to Florida. Bring him to the swamp."
If it's not Louisiana that he fits, it's definitely like Panhandle of Florida. That dude is the absolute Florida man of all Florida man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He could rock the boat over in Florida. I mean, he could get the tides turning for the Gators. I'm telling you. Give me Ed Orgeron.
Go Gators. I mean, he's still getting his buyout money though, so I doubt he wants to go.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If anybody's going to there's only two ways you can go as a Gators fan now. You either get yourself Ed Orgeron or you say, "Screw it. We're going to make our team worse," and you're going to go figure out if Big Game Brian will leave LSU. Let's make our
Now
team worse.
we're forgetting one person who's had much success in the state of Florida in his career. One Jimbo Fisher, who's currently jobless and collecting his money from Texas A&M. So it's going to take a lot to get him off the $76 million buyout, but maybe Florida can do it.
Hey, you know what? If you're also looking at one other direction, and I know Florida fans would hate this, and I know a lot more than Florida fans will hate this, but Urban Meyer, I'm pretty sure, is still available for a job if you guys want to bring him back.
As long as he can build a chop house in Gainesville, he'll be good.
Yeah, he'll be fine, man. You get him to the nearest what is it? Sparkling Rhino, is that what they're called? Yeah, get him to I think it's called the the Crystal Rhino.
Hey, yeah, I mean, he's another dude he had success at Florida with Tebow. I mean,
Yeah.
he led a locker room that had many criminals and also a very devout Christian leading it. So, he's a leader of men, good leader. That's what you need in Florida.
You need to bring him back, man. He led a covenant of criminals to a national championship. I mean, come on. 41 of the guys on that roster have been to prison and back. I mean, he really turned the tide there. He got the team cooking. So not
While
much of
we're
a
at it,
character guy. Don't get me
let's just
twisted.
bring Mac Brown back from North Carolina. I'm sure he could work in Florida. That man can still recruit his butt off at 74 years old.
Yeah, this is when you need to go. You need to go start searching the internet and figure out where Kellen Moore is offensive coordinating at these days. Is he at Boise State now? Is he? No, he didn't get the Boise job, did he?
He is now the OC
Where's
of the
Kellen Moore?
Philadelphia Eagles.
There we go. Yeah, get him over to Florida. Let him cook.
Why not?
Kellen Moore. I love it.
He has had success in blue and orange before. Why not now too?
Yeah, I agree. Either that or figure out if Tom Brady's willing to take on that coaching career that he never thought he needed.
Hey, Bill Belichick's available.
I know Bill's available. I would never take him ever. Not anymore. Not anymore, at least.
He's enjoying his media life these days.
Yeah, if you think the NFL's got him too much for this guy, wait until he realizes there's a thing called NIL deals. It's over. This guy he's clueless.
Oh my goodness. I keep seeing clips of Julian Edelman's podcast. He does a great impression of Belichick, and it's like, hey man. It's like I could just see it. Like, you really think these collectives are gonna determine who plays on my team? Like, give me a break. Let's be real, man.
Let's be real, man. Oh, jeez.
Oh goodness. All right, that'll do it for this episode of the GT Counter. Appreciate you listening in. Great. When do you want to do this again? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday?
Oh, Monday probably. Sunday night football's on. Let's rock Monday. Nobody cares about Monday night football anyways.
Sounds like a plan. We'll be back Monday. We'll be right back here on YouTube. Catch it on podcast after if you can't catch us live. So that'll do it. Until next time, be the man in the arena. Go make some money. Peace out.